What's up guys, it's Rachel and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I post a lot of stuff about nutrition, fitness, and also just lifestyle, but today we are going to actually be doing a true story time from my life, and it's also like a let's not meet story. We're going to be doing 3 because they kind of tie together. So yeah, all of these took place in San Jose. I used to live there, so like downtown San Jose, super busy, hustle and bustle area, you know, city vibes, lots of homeless people, whatnot. So the first story actually happened at a Target in San Jose, and let's just dive into it. So picture this, you know, I was, I think 17 or 18, it was my freshman year, and I went to Target to get shampoo and conditioner. I got there and, you know, just doing my thing. I'm in tiny little tank top and some booty shorts, you know, I'm just doing me, walking there to get my shampoo and conditioner. So I immediately go to that aisle, got a little basket to carry my stuff, and I'm standing there looking at the shampoos, conditioners, trying to figure out what to get. And as I'm standing there, I noticed this guy in a suit. Big dude, like definitely looked out of place. It was a nice suit, and he is just kind of eyeing me, and I was like, he ends up coming up to me and starts talking to me and asks if I'm looking for a job. I told him that I wasn't, that I was a college student and, you know, just studying full time and really just didn't need a job, but he was pretty persistent that I should at least, you know, go to an interview, that I had the perfect look for this job, that I would just be great at it. He could just tell from meeting me for 5 seconds, you know, so I'm just like, okay, but being young and dumb, I'm kind of like going along with it, also just being too nervous to be rude to him. I didn't want to be rude in any way, so I wasn't just like, you know, F off, goodbye. So I'm talking to him, and he's going on and on about this job and how he could get me an interview tomorrow. All he needs is my phone number. I just gotta like give him the phone number, and then we will set up a time to meet, and he's sure I'll get it because I have the perfect look again. And pretty much I ended up giving him a phone number. At first I was giving him my phone number, and then halfway through was like, what, I don't need this job, like why would I give him my phone number? So I gave him like the second half totally fake, and I was just like, yeah, see you at the interview or whatever, and just start walking away. And I didn't even get my shampoo and conditioner at this point. I just had my empty basket, and he, as I'm maybe like 10 steps away, pulls out a walkie-talkie. I happen to look over my shoulder and I just see him go, oh, girl in the blue shorts, blonde girl in the blue shorts. And at that point I was like, I'd already gotten red flags from the perfect look compliment or comment, whatever that was. I was just, you know, red flags were popping off in my head, so I was like, okay. And then I hear him, you know, tell somebody on his walkie-talkie to look for the girl in the blue shorts, and I just panicked. I just like, I don't need this shampoo and conditioner, I will go somewhere else. Dropped my basket, booked it out of there, and got in my car and just drove away. And luckily I never saw him again. The second story, this is also true, you know, from my life while I was living in San Jose. So this was some years later. Picture this, I was taking a summer class at the time, and so it's hot, it's summer, I'm in little shorts, tank top, and I had my backpack with my computer and other school stuff in it. I was studying in San Pedro Square, just sitting there, you know, vibing on my computer with headphones in, when this woman approached me. It was about lunchtime, so you know, it got kind of busy in there. I assume people were on their lunch break. She came in and sat down next to me. We were kind of in communal like seating. It was just a bunch of sofas, and there was a game going on, some basketball game or something, but I wasn't paying attention to it really. But she sat down next to me and immediately, you know, started trying to talk to me, and I had headphones in, so I kind of nodded, and then she kept asking me questions, so I eventually took them out, you know, I'm like, what? Like, what did you say? And she was just asking me about the game, and then I was like, oh yeah, I'm not really watching it, and I think she just picked up that I was not there for the game at all. And then she's like, oh, what are you working on? And I kind of told her like that I was a student and I was working on this like internship thing, and just shared a couple details about it, probably more than I should have. But she was like, wow, like that's amazing. I have these two business partners that would love this idea and would just, I'm sure they would jump on this. They helped me like make so much money. And she like went into great detail about this couple that have mentored her and have, you know, like invested in her and all this stuff. And honestly, I didn't get any red flags. I was like, this is a woman, like she's being so nice to me, like this must be a genuine thing. And I just was like, yeah, that's great, wow, that's so cool, like I would love to meet them, like maybe like just share something with me, or at least have a phone call with them. And she was like, oh yeah, like I'll totally like set it all up, just give me your phone number. And so, young and dumb, I gave her my phone number. So I walked back to my apartment, and when I got home, I remember telling my roommate all about it and about how excited I was, how, you know, cool it was and whatnot. And she was like, Rachel, no, like, no, you did not give this person your phone number. And she just told me all about how on the news that same week there had been all these instances of college students, even on our campus, being approached by women offering to have them meet their mentor. And these people have been going missing. It's really suspicious. If anybody tells you that they have a mentor for you to meet to literally run the other direction, at that point in my life, I didn't really watch the news. I immediately started panicking, and I was like, I gave her my phone number, like what am I gonna do? And she was like, just block it really quickly, it's probably fine. And so I just blocked her phone number because she had texted me her name, so that I had her number as well. And so I just blocked it. And a week goes by, I'm not thinking anything of it. I honestly thought it was fine. But I go to that same Target where this weird instance happened when I was a freshman. Been there many times in between and nothing weird had happened. So I go to that Target because I needed something. Can't even remember what at this point. Oh, I needed a new coffee maker because my coffee maker broke. So I'm holding my Starbucks and I'm in there looking at the coffee making machines, trying to decide which one to get, when this woman approached me. Like, she just knew where I was. I was like not having it at that point. When she came up to me, I remember I was so nervous, and she was trying to act like I couldn't text you for some reason. Like, what happened? Did your phone break? No, I actually blocked you because I heard about, you know, schemes like yours, and I was not trying to be abducted. I actually went so far as to tell the police about you. You might want to leave me alone. And she just, her eyes got so wide and she just didn't say anything, turned around and booked it out the store. And that's how I know this was real. Why would you run away if it wasn't? She didn't even try to deny it. She just left as fast as she possibly could. And I remember I was so nervous because how did she find me? How did she know I was there at that Target in that section? Like, it creeped me out so much. I told an employee at Target, I was like, at this point, this is the second time something like this has happened to me here, and I'm sure other people have had weird situations at this specific Target. I don't know if it's this Target alone. And yeah, so I just told the employee about that, and he was like, okay. He just did not seem like he cared at all. And then I hadn't called the police yet, but I decided to call the police. The police actually connected me to the FBI, which was crazy. So I gave an FBI agent my whole like re-encampment of the situation, her name, her phone number, the name she gave me, and they said that like I wasn't the first person to report something like this, and that it was really great that I did. It's super nerve-wracking to look back at and just think you could so easily fall for something like this. I, you know, almost did, like being young and not really thinking twice about that, being somebody who wants to believe the best in people. You know, people are offering to help you. You're thinking, what could go wrong with this? If you're watching this, lots of stuff could go wrong. And I know there's been a trend on TikTok recently that's people talking about specifically their Target sex trafficking experiences, and I actually shared the first one of these experiences on there, but I figured I'd just go on my channel and share the rest because they're pretty crazy. And if this helps anyone else to avoid similar situations, I would love to get it out there. if you've had something like this ever happen to you, definitely let me know. I'm super interested to hear it and learn more. The last story that I want to tell is something that didn't happen to me, but something that I was told about from a regular at the bar I used to work at, again in San Jose. So he said that him and his buddy, after they would drink, they used to like to go and just sit at this KFC and talk. So he would be there really late hours sometimes. Sounds kind of sketchy. I wouldn't do that, but alright, continuing on with the story. So he used to sit at this KFC with his buddy late hours of the night and just talk because it was open 24 hours a day. And one time they're there, they noticed this young girl. He said she looked like she could have been 16 years old, just a young Asian girl, and she was sitting alone in one of the booths. And yeah, he just noticed her when they came in, clocked her, and they sat there for probably 2 hours talking, and she was there the whole time. You know, every other customer's coming and going, eating, leaving, buying their food, leaving. She never had any food. She just sat there. She didn't have a phone, she didn't have anything. She was just sitting alone, and she was wearing, you know, short skirt, heels. She just looked really out of place. I mean, it wasn't the best neighborhood, so maybe, you know, she was a prostitute, he thought. He wasn't really sure, but he saw her just sitting there the whole time, and she looked scared. He said it was clear that she was just horrified. She didn't look comfortable. She looked very scared. So after about 2 hours of seeing her sitting there, he decided to just go up and say hi and make sure she was okay. So he went up and he was like, "Hey, I hope you're doing okay. I saw you sitting here for a while. I just wanted to make sure you're all right. Do you want any food?" Like, he was just trying his hardest to be nice to her and help her because he was worried about her having daughters of his own. Seeing her in this situation, it just was worrisome. He said that she then spoke really broken English, very hard to understand, and just said, no, I'm okay. I am waiting for my mom to come back." And so he was like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries. I was just here and noticed you just wanted to be nice, make sure you were okay," and didn't think twice of it. But he just went back to his table and told his buddy, like, "Let's hang out a little longer and see if her mom shows up," because at that point it was, you know, past midnight. It would just seemed like a really weird situation. So she keeps sitting there and they keep sitting there. They have their conversation for probably another hour. It was getting super late, like 2 or 3 in the morning, and he was just still concerned about her. You know, she had nothing to do. She was just sitting there and doing nothing, you know, twiddling her thumbs for hours alone. So he again went up to her and asked, you know, "Hey, are you okay? Like, do you need somewhere to go? Do you need money?" Like, he really was just, you know, trying his hardest to be nice to her. And she seemed really scared of him and just not comfortable with the situation still. She just said, like, "Again, I'm just waiting for my mom." And so he was like, "Okay, you know, my daughter lives nearby. If you want, I can get her and she can help us." And at that point, the girl actually ended up breaking down. He said she started crying and said that she's not waiting for her mother, that she is actually has no idea where she is. She doesn't have her phone, that she doesn't have a phone. She doesn't know where she is. She's completely alone and she's really scared, and she would just started crying. So he called his daughter, and his daughter surprisingly answered the phone and came and helped and brought her back to her house. He just said, you know, "You can go with my daughter will help you." And they ended up calling the police, and the whole thing turned out that she was brought here from a different country against her will and forced to work for these people who told her they were her mother, or to refer to her as her mother. And yeah, she was basically a slave that was brought, you know, to the city to work and to be used. And they happened to leave her alone for a little bit and not come back. And that was the only reason she was able to kind of get free from this situation. Just imagine, you know, that your life is uprooted in an instant because you believe somebody is trying to help you, or you just get into somebody's car and next thing you know, you're in a completely different country, being drugged, being manipulated. Again, these were kind of like heavy topics, but interesting, and I definitely don't want to meet either of those people I met again. You know, let's not meet again. Target, sex trafficking, crazy people, or the people in downtown San Jose. You know, any big city I'm sure has this sort of thing. It's just crazy to think the world we live in today, and I hope all you girls out there will be aware of your surroundings at all times. Stay safe, please. If you enjoyed the video or you relate to it or it was interesting, please give me a big thumbs up. And if you want to come along on this, you know, video adventure with me, then hit the subscribe button. I post new videos every week, and I would love to have you in the fam. Hope you have a great rest of your day and stay safe. Bye.